If I had to start a mobile detailing business from zero in 2026, I wouldn't buy a single piece of equipment. I do something completely different that takes 30 minutes and costs nothing. This one move could get me my first customers before I even buy a vacuum. Most beginners do the exact opposite and wonder why they're broke months later. Here's exactly what I'd do on day one. I'd build my client acquisition system before buying any equipment. Your client acquisition system is how you acquire clients. There's multiple different client acquisition systems out there. Going door to door and hiring a door-to-door sales team is a client acquisition system. Paying people to pass out cards for you or flyers for you is a client acquisition system. Running paid ads on social media or Google is also a client acquisition system. My first month I had a real client acquisition system in place, I made $14,000. Most people will never even reach that number on their 100th month just because they don't have an actual system to get clients. They keep guessing, they keep waiting, they keep relying on word of mouth or referrals or inconsistent things. And they never have an actual predictable system. And honestly, when people would use the word, you need a predictable system, I didn't even know what that meant when I was first starting out, right? So I'm here to simplify it in this video on what the actual most important things are to grow your detailing company, whether you're trying to hit $10,000 a month for the first time or whether you're already there and you're trying to hit $50,000 a month. It's just about getting a scalable system and putting more inputs into it so you can get more out. So what most detailers do, and I see this all the time, whether you're just starting out or whether you're more experienced, is they waste $3,000 to $5,000 on gear, which is tools, vehicles, equipment, or even more money than that. And they sit around with no customers or not enough customers because they could have used that money in actually getting more clients. I've seen this mistake hundreds of times. It's still a super common mistake. Most detailers think about is, when I make this money, I'm gonna buy X. And X is usually a piece of equipment, it's a tool, it's a vehicle. It's never about I'm gonna upgrade my marketing or invest in my sales abilities, because that will make you hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. The customer actually does not give two craps, or the customer does not care whatsoever. They just care about if you can do the job or not. So the most important thing you could be focused on is, let's say you have a limited amount of money. If you have, let's say $2,000 you're starting this business with, it's enough money if you use it on the right things. The detailers in my program who hit $15,000+ a month in 60 days, and I know that sounds crazy. How can someone start their business and hit $15,000 a month in 60 days? So let me give you an example. Let's say, again, I have $2,000. If I go take 500 of that and I put it in equipment and I spend the other 1,500 on advertising, if you have a profitable system like what we'd set up at Rocket Detailer for our detailers, I can easily turn that $1,500 in advertising into over $10,000 in sales. And then 10 to 20% of those customers will buy from me again, refer me to someone, sign up for a maintenance wash, upgrade to a higher ticket package like a ceramic coating, so many other things, right? So really, I'll turn that into over $15,000 in revenue. I'd rather spend $150 on ads and make $2,000 back in customers than go spend $2,000 on a van, tools, or equipment and still have no customers. So it's about setting up, first step is getting a wildly profitable, scalable client acquisition system in place, right? Where you can put in $1 and you can make back 5, 10, 20, right? I'm actually in one of our clients' ad accounts. This is Connor. He's one of the over 200 detailers we work with at Rocket Detailer. You can see here 200+ ad accounts. If we look at, in the last 30 days, he generated 242 leads. We spent $1,500 on ads, and this has produced him over $10,000 in sales. A little bit about Connor. He was 18, just graduated high school, was working at Chick-fil-A, was making like $500 a month with his detailing company, joined the program, he got accepted in. First 30 days in, which was August, he did over $10,000 in sales, and we've been consistently hitting those numbers since then. So if we look here, we spent $1,500 on ads, he got 242 leads. We got 85,000 impressions, which is the amount of views you get, and we reached 56,000 people, which is the amount of people that actually see the ad. We're getting $1.74 cost per click, and our CTR all, click-through rate all, is about 2%, which means that about 1 out of every roughly a little bit less than 50 people actually stop and go through his ad that we make for him, right? So long story less long, this is what you need. He has a predictable way where, without passing out flyers or door knocking or sweating his butt off in the sun, he has 242 people hit his phone, and then he can turn those 242 leads into $10,000 in sales. It's predictable, it's scalable. Now we're actually helping him get employees so he can push to the next level. Quick side note, everything I'm talking about here comes down to one thing, which is getting customers. If you don't want to figure out that part on your own, my team will actually run the ads for you and guarantee you get 5 jobs in the first 5 days. All you do is just cover 30 bucks a day in ad spend, which goes straight to Facebook and Instagram. We don't touch that money. And if it makes sense for you to actually get more clients into the door, the link's in the description to apply for the free trial. We don't take on everybody, and it's not based on how new you are or how much experience you have. It's just based on you as a person, if we think you're someone we want to work work with because we're doing a free trial. So we only want to take on people that we actually like to work with. And if you've seen any of the other videos, this is exactly how we took Chris with Mobile Glow Detailing in Raleigh from waiting at tables to doing over $50,000 a month at just 17 years old and hiring his dad. He invested in actually building a system that gets customers calling him. Now, if you're like, hey, I don't have a system, I don't know how to do this, then you have two options. Either go spend the next few years trying to master marketing, understanding all the different metrics, or you do what smart entrepreneurs do, which is you just pay with money and you get there in a few weeks. Why go spend the next 3 to 5 years trying to figure everything out? And the biggest mistake people think is they think they're saving money by doing that, when the reality is that if it takes you even 1 year to master what took my team or I 8 years, over that course of the next 1 year, you could have made an extra $100,000, which is what we add to the average detailing business we work with. You could have added an extra 100 grand. So you actually lost money. You lost reviews, referrals, emotional energy, mental energy, right? I mean, not growing your business, being in the same spot for months or years while trying to figure things out is exhausting. I know because I went through it. So the second point is that posting in Facebook groups or door knocking also makes you look really unprofessional. Customers only pay premium prices to business that looks successful. If you're out there soliciting or you're trying to haggle people in Facebook groups and there's 3 other detailers posting in the groups as well, people are gonna think, okay, they're not gonna respect you. They're not gonna view you as an authority. They're gonna view you as someone who doesn't have a ton of clients coming in. When you have professional marketing, it actually positions you as a premium choice because most detailers don't have the balls or are too scared to actually invest money in advertising their company. They're too scared. They don't know what they're doing. They don't want to invest in help. That's why most of them will always be stuck. So you have a huge advantage by just being willing to invest money in advertising for your business. So you can actually differentiate yourself wildly from everyone else by doing that. And a lot of beginners think ads are too expensive. Investing in your business is too expensive. That couldn't be further from the truth, okay? What's expensive is you being in the same spot for months or years, and I got guys who are in high school or teenagers making over $10,000 a month within the first 2 months of starting their company. We had one guy this last week, for example. He joined the program and he's been seeing our ads on Facebook and Instagram like some of you might have for the last 3 months. And he waited 3 months to actually take action, take our free trial and get it and join the full program. He made $2,500 on our free trial, like collected from customers. And he's like, man, I've been seeing your ads for 3 months. If I had done this 3 months ago, I probably would have made an extra $30,000 on just $30 a day in ad spend. In life, we're always taught DIY, even me as well, don't get help from other people. That is the stupidest thing. That's not how business works. And this positioning strategy is how we took Drew from $15,000 a month to $70,000 a month in just 3 months in the program. Full interview with him on my YouTube channel as well. And we get guys all the time who join in the program. They're like, man, after working with you guys, I was able to raise my price significantly. Sometimes people think, hey, my average income is lower in my area. That might be true, and it affects you if you're trying to sell $1 million house. But if you're selling a $200, $300 or $1,000 service, like detailing usually is, then it doesn't actually matter what the average income is in your area, because there's plenty of people in the middle and upper class who can afford a few hundred to $1,000 for a luxury item like detailing. I work with people in El Paso, Texas, I think lowest average income towns in America, literally on the Mexican border, who are still cranking $10,000 to $20,000 a month in their detailing company, making at 40+% margins. So if I started my mobile detailing business in 2026, I'd do exactly what I teach my clients, which is if I only had $1,000, I would literally go spend all that money on advertising, or most of it, over half of it. I would go book in a few $1,000s worth of jobs. I would then go liquidate my advertising spend by calling them up and getting a deposit from all of them, right? Or offering a discount and prepayment in full, or offering some bonus, right? I would then liquidate my ad spend. So let's say I spend $500 on ads. I book in just 15 appointments. I would go call all those people, go get a $30 deposit. I'd make almost my whole $500 back. Now I have 15 appointments lined up. $1,000, I can get a good enough setup to detail out of my car. Now I can go make $3,000 to $5,000 from those 15 appointments I had lined up. Boom, rinse and repeat. I can go spend $1,000 on ads, make $5,000 to $10,000 back. Now I have $8,000 to $10K liquid cash. What can I do now? I can go buy good tools, good equipment. This approach took me from $0 to $27,000 a month in just 3 months. And it's how we guarantee to scale clients past $10,000 or add an additional $10,000 a month in the first couple months of working with us. So at this point, you've seen what actually matters when starting. It's not the gear, it's getting customers. If you want help with that, my team will run the ads for you for 5 days and guarantee you 5 book jobs. You just cover $30 a day in ad spend. If it works, great. If not, you don't owe us anything. The link's in the description.